up in the morning and out to school. The teacher is teaching the golden rule. American history and practical math. You study them hard and hoping to pass. Working your fingers right down to the bone. The guy behind you won't leave you alone. Ring, ring goes the bell.
The world's a mess. A mess. When you get weakness, you have aggression. That's what we have right now. Ex-U.S. President Carter escapes assassination by al-Qaeda-linked Palestinians. His good friends over there try to kill him. Army of Islam, the Palestinian al-Qaeda cell in Gaza, tried to assassinate former U.S. President Jimmy Carter by planting a 200-kilo bomb in the path of his exit through the Erez crossing after he held sympathetic talks with its Hamas rulers. You hear this? Terrible, terrible story. Iran State TV, supported by San Francisco Chronicle, publishing articles glorifying the Iranian regime. I cannot believe what I'm looking at going on in this country, that the far left is actually taking the side of the Iranian dictatorship. It's amazing to me. I mean, it's becoming crazier by the day. Yesterday I talked about here on the Savage Nation, the world through a frying pan. Today I was talking about the sale begins when the customer says no. Now we could go to anything you'd like to talk about. 1-800-449-8255 is the phone number. My website is michaelsavage.com, as usual, open for business. I'd like to talk about now the protests in Iran and where are the protests in the United States. Across Iran, people are rising up in protest against Ahmadinejad. The election was stolen by the Hitler of Iran, and people are now putting their lives in a line to demand justice. What happened? The internet and cell phone service in Iran shut down by the government. Demonstrators being shot and killed in the streets, but still, they go out and they protest. But here in the United States, there was nothing but silence. What do I mean? Last year, there was an election in which there were serious questions about fraudulent ballots from Acorn, voting by illegal aliens, and the very birth certificate issue of the candidate who won. We supposedly elected a president who was a previously unknown senator. He had no serious background or experience to be president. But after it, despite all of the questions about illegal aliens and fraudulent ballots and Acorn, no protests, no riots, no demands for an investigation into vote fraud, nothing but acquiescence here in America. Why? Americans have a mindset of conformity. They have belly stuffed with junk food and mind stuffed with Moloch's media madness. Americans of today are taught from childhood not to say anything hurtful, not to say anything offensive, not to look racist, and certainly never to hit back. The few that have not been completely brainwashed look to the leadership of the Republicans, but the Republicans didn't want protests either. They didn't want to win. They had just had 8 years to empty the U.S. Treasury and knew it was the Democrats' turn to empty the Treasury. In Iran, there may be religious oppression, sure. But in the United States, the pervasive oppression of thought by the media, the diversion of energy and attention into psychological and political pornography, and a constant stream of doublethink prevent any effective protest by the population. Iranians are actually blessed by the absence of Western media. Even under the oppression of the mullahs, they can still think freely, if not always act freely. Iran may have jackbooted soldiers shooting protesters in the streets, but in the United States, they're not even needed. The government media complex is not worried that you will ever get up off your couch, march into the streets, and defy them. In Iran, even the Republican Guard seems to be turning against Ahmadinejad. Several of them were arrested today. In the United States, the only thing that needs to be arrested is your thought process. I'm Michael Savage, and I approve of my monologue. That's all. Now, what would you like to talk about? It's pretty good, not bad. Admittedly not simple to digest. Not as simple as the world through a frying pan. Nor as simple as the sale begins when the customer says no. But very important for you to hear that your great nation called America is being dismantled on a daily basis by the neo-Marxists in the White House. Sacramento, George, welcome to the Savage Nation. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, Dr. Savage.
Hello.
Hello from an immigrant, a legal immigrant who came to this country 49 years ago.
Right.
I'm happy to come here, and I came here to live and choose where I want to live, to choose where I want to work. I came here to have the freedom of speech and expression, that I would not have to fear anybody behind my back listening to what I say, so that I would be punished. And after 49 years, I have served honorably in the American Army. I'm a veteran, ex-paratrooper, and the country that I came into is no longer the country I came to. I feel like I need to go back where I came from. It's going...
Wait, well, let me ask you, hold on now. George, what country, do you mind telling us?
Former Balkans, Yugoslavia.
It seems to me there's more freedom there than there is here.
Well, when I came here in 1960, sir, I don't know about the freedom. You couldn't even say you could not say that your president was an idiot or that you didn't agree with him. You would serve jail.
Wait, hold it. We don't serve jail for saying Obama is this or that, but we are all roundly criticized and called racist if we say one word about his neo-Marxist policies. How much further is it going to take, do you think, for them to start demanding jail sentences for anybody who speaks out against Chairman Obama?
But this is what I'm trying to say.
I'm telling you, step by step, they're taking away the nation.
Yeah, they are taking away the nation, and I saw through this man's rhetoric at the very beginning at the Oprah show, you know, when he was on it.
Yeah.
I tell you that, it scared the hell out of me because he's every day talking about things. He's every day in the news. He's pumping people up, and there are people out there who are really being pumped up. They're pro-Obama. They think he's some kind of a savior. He's going to give everybody a free check. You won't have to work anymore.
Yes.
This is kind of upsetting me because I retired, and I'm living happily ever after still because I provided for myself. I never had a handout, never collected welfare, and never even expected to. But unfortunately, the country has started falling a long time ago to liberal-minded media and people. We got welfare systems.
So you think that we're all seeing, it's not even thinking, we are moving into a socialist state of the type you left behind without the state-approved violence, yet.
Yeah, we are doing.
So how much longer is it going to be until the state starts enforcing its views upon people through violence and force, is what you're worried about?
Yes, I am worried about. This is what some people say. We are forsaking our liberties for safety, our freedom for safety. I don't want that.
I'll tell you, George, to me there's a sign that if Obama does a certain thing, I'm leaving the country, and I'll tell you what it is. I'm laying it on the line. God forbid he ever follows through with his statement that he wants a private civilian military force. Do you remember that speech during the campaign that was brushed aside by ABC, CBS, and NBC about a private civilian security force, as size of the military, equally supported, that reports only to him? Do you remember that?
To tell you the truth.
Hold on a minute. Guys, I want you to dig that up in Obama's own voice. For all of the Barney Franks of the world, I want you to, you guys have it yet? Because the people, you have to hear this to believe it.
We cannot continue to rely only on our military in order to achieve the national security objectives that we've set. We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well funded.
Now, did you hear that one? A civilian national security force? That's the SA. That is the equivalent of Hitler's private elite bodyguard. Do you hear this, George?
Yes.
I didn't make this up. This is not photoshopped. This was Obama during the campaign signaling what he will do when he gets the power to do it.
But you know what he could do? Actually, France has a foreign legion. Over here, we can have an illegal legion. We can have all the people that want to...
If he takes the thugs from Acorn and the thugs from other groups and militarizes them or grants them police powers and arms them, you will know that the country is over. And I will leave this country at that point. I certainly won't be going to England, though, George.
We shall be censored.
We'll talk about it. George, thanks for the call. I got to move on. By the way, I thought about this. As you know, Michael Savage is banned in the United Kingdom. That you know, and we're fighting it every day. I don't know if you know that, but my lawyers are struggling every day against the government, who has not yielded yet. I will update you as things occur. It looks like Monday is going to be the day the lawsuit's filed. I'm not certain yet. But I thought about it. I'm actually prohibited from traveling to several other countries as well, and they now shall go in the same list as the United Kingdom, and they include Syria. I cannot travel to Syria. I cannot travel to Cuba. I cannot travel to North Korea. I cannot travel to Iran. So now the United Kingdom is on the same list as Cuba, North Korea, Iran, and Syria. Isn't that wonderful? They're now in that distinguished list. They think they put me in an undesirable list. Well, guess what? By doing so, they put themselves on a list of undesirable nations. Think about it. I'll get back to you.